Homeland Security returns deported woman and her daughter after judge's order. The Department of Homeland Security reversed a pair of deportation orders on Thursday, returning a woman and her daughter to the United States after they landed in El Salvador. The unusual move, ordered by a federal judge, came after the agency kicked the pair out of the U.S. despite an agreement to let them stay at least until midnight while their asylum appeal was being heard in a Washington, D.C. courtroom. Judge Emma Sullivan hit the roof on Thursday after learning that the Trump administration deported them as the American Civil Liberties Union was asking him for an emergency injunction while they argued against the asylum denial. He lectured Justice Department lawyers about the unacceptable move, threatening to hold Attorney General Jeff Sessions in contempt of court. Someone seeking justice in U.S. court is spirited away while her attorneys are arguing for justice for her? The judge asked. A Homeland Security Department official later told The Wall Street Journal that hours later the mother-daughter duo were on American soil again. Upon arrival in El Salvador, the plaintiffs didn't disembark and are currently en route back to the United States. The official said while they were in midair. The liberal ACLU, accustomed to representing illegal immigrants and asylum seekers in court, had struck a deal with the judge to halt proceedings against the woman, known only as Carmen, until midnight Thursday. But during a court recess, ACLU lawyers found out that the woman and her daughter had already been moved from the South Texas Family Residential Center, the nation's largest detention facility for illegal immigrants and other potential deportees. From there, they learned, she may already have been taken to the San Antonio airport and put on an 8:15 SM flight back to Central America. Carmen and her daughter were not separated when they crossed the border, but their chances of remaining in the U.S. were slim after she failed a credible fear test designed to determine whether her asylum claim could be honored. Successful applicants typically enter the country to flee persecution because of their race, religion, nationality or political views. Membership in what bureaucrats described decades ago as a particular social group also qualifies. But Sessions dramatically limited that category in June, ruling out border crossers who claim asylum because they are victims of domestic abuse or gang violence, unless the brutality originates with their home governments. Otherwise, the Attorney General argued, protected social groups include only people who share a common immutable, unalterable, characteristic. Sessions' unexpected announcement negated a comparatively more vague 2014 Board of Immigration Appeals ruling that married women in developing countries who are unable to leave their relationship can be considered a particular social group for asylum purposes. The Obama administration argued at the time that the woman's gender was immutable. And because she was a Roman Catholic from predominantly Catholic Guatemala, her married status was also beyond her control to reverse. All 12 of the ACLU's lawsuit plaintiffs would have been permitted to stay under the old rules. One said she was repeatedly raped by a former boyfriend who also physically beat her daughter severely enough to cause a miscarriage. Others say they fled violent drug gangs who killed their relatives and, in one case, took over their homes. The Trump administration has argued that traffickers see the credible fear test as a loophole that allows them to get their human cargo into the United States, so long as they can memorize the right things to say. From there, Sessions has argued, asylum seekers are typically released into the interior of the country while they await hearings, often years away. Many disappear instead of showing up. In changing the standards for seeking asylum, Sessions said in June that the mere fact that a country may have problems effectively policing certain crimes, such as domestic violence or gang violence, or that certain populations are more likely to be victims of crime, cannot itself establish an asylum claim. ACLU attorney Jennifer Chang Newell declared this week in a statement that changing the standard was a naked attempt by the Trump administration to eviscerate our country's asylum protections. It's clear the administration's goal is to deny and deport as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, she said. There are about 700,000 backlogged asylum cases crawling through federal courts, according to the judge. That number is more than triple what it was when Barack Obama became president in 2009.